Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching. Today is side-by-side comparison of my CZ75 and one of the many clones it's inspired over the years, the SAR 2000, a firearm I just recently picked up. And it's my first Turkish gun and one of the many CZ75 clones I have. I thought I'd take a side-by-side look to see how it compares to the original. This will be just a tabletop review. I do get lots of requests for people asking me to do shooting videos, and I'm very close to having the ability to do that on a regular basis. So I will have a fast follow-up of me shooting these guns as well. Because the CZ75 platform is a platform that I seem to shoot better than all the others. I'm not sure if it's the grip angle, the inverted rail system, the triggers, but something about them for me is easy to shoot. So I'll have that in the future, I promise. But thanks for watching. And as always, if you have feedback on the SAR 2000 or the CZ75 and compared them, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. People doing research on either firearm, I think, can find those really useful. But what are they? If you're watching this, you probably already know, but the CZ75 is one of the most famous guns of all time, one of the original Wonder Nines, designed in Czechoslovakia, now the Czech Republic, in 1975. It's a steel frame, double action, single action firearm, chambered at 9mm, and its most famous feature is the inverted rail system. Most guns have slides right on the outside of the rails. This CZ75 here, if I flip the right angle, you can see that the slide rides inside the rails. And it doesn't really give you lower bore axis necessarily, but it gives you a much smaller slide mass coming back at you. So the grip angle, the weight, and this less slide mass makes this a very flat shooting gun. Now, some people don't like that because there's not a lot to grab a hold of when you rack the slide, but it makes a big difference when shooting the firearms. This SAR 2000 is very much the same type gun. So again, they look very similar. There are some key differences I'll call out as we go through them. And so with that, I'll just kind of jump in. And I'll start at the back where they both have kind of a similar view. They got the same design of the grip angle here, cut under the beaver tail here, same design there. Again, this gun was inspired by the CZ75. Another difference is the grip panels. This is polymer on the CZ75 versus rubber on the SAR. I have both. I like both. It is worth mentioning that the SAR with rubber grips does have some texturing back here on the back strap and front strap to help with recoil, but the CZ75 is slick back here and on the front. I have had zero issues maintaining grip control without that on there though, so no big deal. I think another interesting design cue that's very subtle on the CZ75 is just the shape of the trigger guard. On the inside especially, you can see you have this kind of looped up interior here, and same design back that way, same loop here. I think easier to get gloved fingers in there is my assumption. Both have a nice undercut, but the SAR 2000 does have more of a rounded edge where the CZ75 kind of squares off here and put some texturing on there. I'm not sure if the original had that or not, but if you wrap your finger around the trigger guard, that may interest you. It doesn't me, but it's one difference in the two. Another thing I like about both firearms is just their classic look. Neither has a pick rail. They didn't exist in 1975. And SAR, again, used the same molds and everything for this. So they both have very sleek, classic looking designs up front with a dust cover overhang. I can see there's texture on both, but they're slightly different on both firearms. This is a close-up of the SAR versus the CZ75. A little bit different texture here, but very classic looking designs, which I think is great. Both guns have the same controls. You have the takedown lever here and here, or slide stop. Access both actually. One big difference is my CZ75 is an updated version. Mine is the BD version. B stands for fire and pin block, which they both have, but also this is the decocker model. The original CZ75 came with a safety only, which is what the SAR has. This model has the decocker because that's what version was on sale when I bought it. Both these I got fantastic prices on to add to my collection. So that's kind of, again, they're both for right-handers only. If you look at the other side, for lefties like me, no controls over here whatsoever. So, but I think both beautiful firearms. Classic black in the CZ always looks nice. I think SAR knocked it out of the park with a stainless finish on here. I'm anxious to see how it does in the sunlight, because I'm not sure if there's going to be glare off the top here. The CZ75 has this texturing up here they say reduces glare. I'm not sure how much I've had to deal with that. But the sights are also slightly different. I actually prefer, with my old eyes, the SAR 3-dot sight picture over here on the left because I think the CZ ones, although they're night sights, are a little harder for me to see. So one small difference in the two, I do like the sights better on the SAR. Triggers feel almost identical. Everything is identical. If you look at measurements on these firearms, they're pretty much all within a 1/10 of an inch or 1/10 of an ounce of anything on there. So weights almost identical, length, width, height, it's all very, very similar. Triggers are also pretty identical. I forgot to mention capacity. The CZ75 holds 16. See, it pops up here like so. And the SAR actually holds 17, so it goes one more. And the SAR magazine does fit into the CZ. Be careful not to overinsert it. And it holds the slide back. But the smaller 16-round CZ magazine will not fit in the SAR. It's just a slight difference there. It fits but doesn't lock the slide back. So, and with that, I'll take a look at the triggers before going inside. The triggers, again, I mentioned this is a decocker, got a half cock position. I know you're not supposed to dry fire CZ75s very much, but we'll take a quick look here. Double action, I've measured these on the trigger gauge, and they're pretty much identical. I could never get super consistent readings. But long double action trigger pull, medium reset with some take up, and breaks at the wall. It's a very nice trigger. And the SAR, exact same thing. Nice double action first pull. The reset is medium, small bit of take up, and it breaks. So again, the triggers feel identical on both firearms to me. Again, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have both, what do you think are the triggers? Next, we'll take a look inside, and the disassembly of the CZ75s is very similar. You will have 2 dots or 2 dashes, like here and here, that you want to line up as such, and then push this pin out to get inside. So I'll do that here. I'll cock the pistol. Go off screen for 1 second. I have a wooden block I do that against. Once you pop it out, it comes out just like this. Cock it, and it slides right off. We'll look at the interiors in a second. Same with the SAR. Line these 2 dots up. Go off camera a second. Pop that out. And here you see this pulls right out. It slides right off. So first, let's look at the grips or the frames. Slightly different placement of the extractors in there. So they're not a clone. They're exactly the same, but they're really, really close. The CZ, you've got, I think it's a polymer guide rod. I can't actually tell. And in the SAR, you actually have a full length steel guide rod, or a longer length rather. So a longer guide rod on the SAR. Barrel on the SAR versus the barrel on the CZ75. Those do look pretty darn close. But the SAR barrel is slightly shorter. Just ever so slightly. And then inside the slides, see your firing pin block there, slightly different placement. So they're not clones, you can't interchange the parts, but very interesting designs overall. Now, to reinstall them, just reverse them all that. Put this back in, guide rod goes in. Guide rod goes in. Here you see the inverted rail system, by the way. You can see how it just rides inside there. One of my favorite features. Line those dots back up. Insert the takedown lever. Check for function. Same with the SAR. Reinsert the barrel. Reinsert the longer guide rod. Note this guy has a little notch there that you'll make sure you fit that in so it rides easier. Again, inverted rail. I love the interior of the SAR. The craftsmanship looks as nice as the original CZ, if not nicer, honestly. And very smooth slide action. Reinsert the takedown lever. And there we go. So there is my side-by-side comparison of the SAR 2000 and the gun that inspired it, the CZ75. Thank you again for watching. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe.